there's this supply demand problem in healthcare, and a big part of it's state licensing. Is kind of restricted the mobility of physicians and other medical workers. You've got the various kind of in the locums world, you've got kind of this ownership question of who owns which physician and how does that work, and then you've got with the CMGs the same kind of thing. One of the things that we see, especially rural hospitals, struggle with is how do I get, I've got a hospital that really requires some excellent physicians, but we can't recruit them to live here permanently. And locums is both very expensive and usually very disruptive. They're bad physicians who cause problems, who don't have any skin in the game personally as physicians. They view it as not their problem. And so they're kind of between a rock and a hard place. And what we've been able to see happen, and I think you're advocating for it too, is you can take a rural facility and build a team that is so excellent that it is potentially the best in the state, some of the best care in the country, out of physicians who travel out there for 5-6 shifts at a stretch, and build an incredible culture and team dynamic with the permanent staff that's there. But that's a concept that, as soon as you say locums, as you start talking about people from out of town who aren't going to live there, I think most hospital executives and medical directors immediately, their mind goes straight to all of the negatives that are associated with locums.
Absolutely, and to build on what you were saying earlier, there's in being on the other side of the desk as a former regional medical director for APP, there's two types of docs who do locums work. One type are those who can't do anything else, and the other type are those who wouldn't do anything else. And so part of the process fundamentally, for a group like or an organization like Sycamore to maybe put together these highly skilled transition teams of doctors, I think that's number one, how it needs to be marketed. Not one doctor here and then one doctor here and one doctor here and three happen to work at the same site. No, what we're talking about is coming in and saying, look, we're gonna build this world-class emergency department team for you, who are, they know each other, they meet, even though they live in different areas. We have, certain standards we all follow, and it just so happens that, those standards, you will benefit from those standards, not necessarily, following this hospital's, guidelines or this hospital's guidelines. Our group's docs are so good that their guidelines, internal guidelines, pretty much meet everybody's guidelines and all hospital guidelines. And for that reason, then we pay our docs a premium rate. And so that's really the key is being able to take a concept and present it in such a way so that people like a CEO of a hospital or hospital system understands that with medicine, emergency medicine in particular, just like everything else, you get what you pay for. And if you have a group of docs who are getting a premium rate and you're selective, and so on both ways, the most basic concept there is as an organization, you have to make a solid hiring decision. But once you hire a superstar, that's when you step back. And even though you set up the bumper guards on the bowling lanes of emergency medicine, your job as an organization is to let them thrive and let them go. And even as a team,